he was a handful.
He
when
was
he was
a
in
handful.
elementary school.
He was.
And it's changed a lot going into high school.
Sandy and Clay instilled in them at that time, volunteering. That was real important. Putting the community first, other people.
After Bob's wife passed, Daniel would come over and spend some time with him. He'd work on the walnuts, mow his lawn. Lots of times he would just come over and just spend time with him, just talking or getting information out of him, how to turn the land or the dirt that he wanted. And it's the greatest thing he did was surprise Bob with a big TV that he bought, just earning money that he did odd jobs here in the neighborhood.
He's a nice kid. He likes to help people. He helps me. And how many kids do you see want to help an 83-year-old guy?
One thing that sticks out in my mind is his ability to work with underprivileged students. He spent a tremendous amount of time mentoring an autistic young man that wound up being a contributor to our football game and football team. Daniel is the kind of young man that if you could pick somebody on your campus that you would say there's a positive male role model for the rest of the student body to emulate, I would pick Daniel.
In the movie Rudy, there's a scene with the custodian and Rudy, and the custodian goes on to describe Rudy as being 5 foot nothing, not having a whole lot of athletic ability. And you know what, Daniel Titus, he's not the biggest kid, he's not the strongest kid, he's not the fastest kid, but you'd be hard pressed to find another athlete out on the football field on Friday night who's got as much heart as Daniel does.
Last year we had our running back was #1 in the state and 50th in the nation for a while in our varsity football team. And there was an article in the Stockton Record about Jeremy Powers. And Daniel emailed the reporter and told him what a great article it was, but there was somebody else at Linden High School that he needed to be aware of, and that he wasn't the fastest runner or the best catcher, but he inspired the whole team. And he said, I only mention this because he has autism and his name's CJ. We just figured it was going to come out in the sports section, and it made the front page of the paper because of what Daniel had done.
They made a special play so that you could make a touchdown, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And you followed Daniel Titus into the end zone?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Totally awesome. You guys were filled with tears of joy.
Yes, we were.
He's a good kid. He's always positive. Every day he comes up to me and gives me a hug.
I dislocated my knees, and he had called me and offered to take me out and buy me breakfast. And by the time I already ate breakfast, but I felt like that was pretty nice of him.
And he calls me guard dog, and that always makes me smile, and it's just really funny because I'm small.
Because he's a nice guy all the way around, doesn't care who you are or where you come from.
Because he is my running back. He is the best.
Daniel was injured, and before he was injured, he was a catalyst, a vocal leader. He led by example, he led by doing, but when he got injured is when he really stepped up as a leader. Didn't miss practice, was always helpful to the team, the coaches, did everything he could to help us be what we could be. And it comes down to even doing the little things. On game day, he brings the coaches cinnamon rolls, little things like that. I don't know that you can say anything that's going to deprive Danny of really who he is. He's what high school football and being in high school is all about.